Amid the growing talk of sabotage as the possible cause of the Pan Am 103 disaster, this much is known, fact. The U.S. State Department was forced to admit today it knew and warned its own embassies 2.5 weeks ago of a bomb threat against Pan Am jetliners bound from Frankfurt to New York. Fact. Pan Am was warned, sort of, by the Federal Aviation Administration. Fact. No one warned the U.S. Army or the flying public. CBS News Defense Department correspondent David Martin and State Department correspondent Wyatt Andrews have been investigating the threat that came in and the very limited warning that went out.
The anonymous phone call to the U.S. Embassy in Helsinki, Finland came just 2.5 weeks ago. It was very specific and perhaps very prophetic.
On December 5, 1988, an unidentified individual telephoned the U.S. Embassy in Helsinki and stated that sometime within the next 2 weeks there would be a bombing attempt against a Pan American aircraft flying from Frankfurt to the U.S.
According to this bulletin sent out by the Federal Aviation Administration and obtained by CBS affiliate WAGA in Atlanta, the caller spoke with a Middle East accent and identified two individuals, Yassan Garadat and Abdullah, as being part of the plot. The caller claimed they had ties to the notorious Abu Nidal organization and that the explosive device would be carried by an unwitting Finnish woman. The FAA said, quote, "The reliability of the information cannot be assessed at this point," but it directed that all U.S. airlines serving Europe and all U.S. embassies in Europe be warned. Finnish police did not take the threat as seriously.
The Finnish police told us right at the outset, when they looked into it, that they felt that the caller was probably committing a hoax. They did not put much credibility in it.
Despite the striking similarity between the anonymous phone call and what happened to Pan Am Flight 103, U.S. officials caution there is as yet no hard evidence a bomb went off aboard the plane.
We don't know at this point whether this is a terrorist incident. There are pretty clear indications now coming in that the weather in the area, the winds were very high where the plane was flying.
The anonymous caller mentioned Abu Nidal. Although Abu Nidal is responsible for some of the worst terrorist attacks on record, airplane bombings have not been one of his tactics. But there is always a first time. The anonymous caller said the bomb would be carried by a Finnish woman. One of Abu Nidal's top lieutenants, who engineered last summer's attack against a Greek ferry, is married to a Finnish woman. Authorities are now checking whether she or any other woman with a Finnish name boarded Pan Am Flight 103 in Frankfurt. Abu Nidal is not the only suspect, but U.S. officials do not give much credence to the after-the-fact claim by the pro-Iranian group Guardians of the Islamic Revolution that it was revenge for the USS Vincenza's downing of Iran Air.
There is simply no way that we can verify this claim.
The first order of business is to establish the cause of the crash. President Reagan has dispatched teams from the FBI, FAA, and National Transportation Safety Board to aid British authorities in the investigation. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.